The challenge about talking with AI is that there is a lot of talk about it. And I think the first takeaway I would want all of us to realize, especially if we are talking about the trends, that too for a decade, which is a long time, not like 6 months and so on, is the fact that we need to go beyond the noise. You know, trends are usually strong and deep, which means if we want to identify a really strong trend, we should not focus on the little ripples or the waves. In the ocean, when we see these waves, we usually focus on those little waves. But a large wave like a tsunami actually comes from significantly large undercurrents. And there are very big experts who then realize that, okay, all these undercurrents will add up to this particular tsunami or this large wave, and that's how people surf those waves and so on. So when we are trying to identify trends in the space of artificial intelligence, it's important to go beyond the current noise of things with respect to, will AI take away my jobs, this chatbot stuff, the fact that people can create fake videos and so on and so forth. Those are the ripples, to be honest. The big trend in AI is the fact that it is bringing disciplines together, really. It is totally interdisciplinary in a societal manner. Today, when people talk about AI, not only they talk from the point of view of technology, they talk from the point of view of business, how it's going to impact the business. They talk with the regulators, is it fair, unfair, and so on. They talk with people who are deciding how the economy or how the society should actually take these and what is right, what is wrong, and so on. So all of these things are coming together. If some person who builds an AI technology uses data that is more biased and therefore maybe some specific demography of a person gets more loan than the others and so on, they can actually be sued. A technologist getting sued for the good code that they've written was not there earlier. So now they really need to know the impact of things that's going to happen. People who are law enforcement agencies or companies or agencies who decide on such laws, they are trying to understand the technology, what its implications are, so that they can make the right laws. Never had been done earlier, exactly. So what trend is happening is the fact that things are getting very interdisciplinary because of the fact that AI is so pervasive in nature. That's one important takeaway when we look at trends that are going to happen from AI. The second trend from the AI perspective is the fact that it is bringing in inclusivity to the real man. To every common person, the technology behind anything that we do, whether it is payments, whether it is buying something and so on, is now getting so pervasive that any common man can just talk to things and so on and therefore retrieve stuff in their own local languages. That's why breaking the barrier of access, it is happening now, which means everyone will be on the same platform more or less, which we had been talking for decades, but now this digital divide is actually going to collapse significantly. So any regulation, any business that we do, we need to realize with the fact that now there is an equivalent population existing there, which is going to be able to access our services and so on. The third thing when it comes to AI is the fact related to speed. You know, way back when the first train, passenger train, moved from Manchester to some place in the UK, I think, it was in 1830. So the train started from one place to the other, Manchester to, I forgot, maybe it's London. The train used to run, and then after about 12 years, they realized that the clocks are not synchronized. How would I know that 11 a.m. at this place is the same as 11 a.m. that place? So let's actually come up with a timetable. So after 18 years, the British rail companies came up with a timetable. And then they realized that timetable doesn't make sense because the clocks at both the places are not synced. So therefore, they figured out that maybe the clock needs to be synced, and that's how this whole thing about Greenwich Mean Time came 30 years after the trains actually had been moving. Things do not move at that pace now. Things move at a significantly faster pace. There are discussions about regulations on AI. There are discussions about what is fair, what is right, what is wrong in AI, and so on, which now need to be taken at a significantly fast pace, because we cannot wait for 30 years for a clock to be synchronized and then all the operations start to happen. So speed is increasing significantly. The bigger factor is that things are becoming interdisciplinary, and the fact is that we are going to become and we are becoming a totally inclusive society. That is the backdrop that AI is actually drawing, which hopefully is going to lead us into all different kinds of solutions, policies, people, which we'll perhaps talk from here.